What's up, Chico? Alright, so I'm going to start with this because I'm going to go do the exercises, but I want to show this stuff first. So, getting time in the crate, you're going to have a stuffed calm. This is the food. You can put different treats in there, so it's just your food. You can put treats, right? And then I use wet food to coat it and freeze it, right? But the first few times, you're just going to put the wet food and you're not going to freeze it because the first few times you want them to be able to get through it real easy. Then after two or three times, then you start making it harder and harder, right? Then you start freezing it and it gets longer. And then there's just peanut butter at the end. Some dogs don't like peanut butter. They're weirdos, which is my Waylon. He doesn't like peanut butter, so I put wet food at the end. Now, I've seen some people, like, they'll just fill the whole thing up with wet food, okay? Now, this comes out of your regular portion. If you're using two of these a day, that's got to come out of your portion of food because you don't want them overfed, right? These big ones is only like a quarter cup, and this is a big one. I don't know if you can tell. This is a big one. Then another way to get duration is you have these lick mats that you can spread peanut butter or canned food on, and it's the same thing. The first couple times, just put it in the refrigerator so it sets up a little bit. Then after a couple times of licking all the stuff off, either peanut butter or wet food, doesn't matter. Then you start freezing it, and it's going to take longer. So that's how you start getting some duration in there without having to get up and go give a treat every 1-2 minutes or something. That's crazy. You use this stuff to get your good duration. Okay, so let's get that. Okay, so here we have Sage is going to do it again because that's his crate. Watch out, fool. My, I was trying to adjust the tripod. Just trying to lick my hand for hot dogs. Okay, so again, he's good in a crate, but I'm going to show you when they're not good. Dude, go on your bed. Go on, go over there, go to bed. That's fine. I wanted you on the farther one, but that's fine. So you're gonna take cookies. Now, with these big guys, sometimes if you have two doors, with these big guys, sometimes I've had to crawl through with them, but that's pretty rare. So what you're gonna do? Oh, let me see. Here, sit. I want to see something. Okay, that's good. Right. So you're gonna start by I'm gonna hold the leash, but say this dog he doesn't want to go in there, right? He's gonna go in there. So what you do is you take the cookie and you throw it all the way to the back. You don't have to hold him, right? And so he still doesn't want to go in there. Sometimes a bunch of cookies. I mean, not sometimes, but a bunch of cookies is way bigger or way more valuable than one, obviously, right? So just keep tossing and tossing, right? And maybe let's say you get to five, right? And then now the dog's like, ooh, now I want to go, right? So you might need 5, 6, 7 cookies to get him to go in at first, and don't worry about him staying in. He can go in and he can come out. And go in. Come on, come on, buddy. Right? And so at first you're just and out, in and out, right? Even if that's all you get, you might get 10 cookies in the back, and he might not want to go in there. So here, so say you got 10 cookies in the back, and he still doesn't want to go in there. Try putting it right at the very front, right? And then you can have one at the very front. Then you can have one just past it. Then you can have just one just past it. Then now he's in there and he's getting all the 10 cookies that are in the back, right? Come on, buddy. Good. So that's your games. And then you can start working as he goes in and out a bunch of times. Usually I won't give him one for coming out because we're trying to build inside. So all the treats and all the good stuff is inside the crate, right? So I gave him one coming out because he doesn't have a problem with this. If the dog has a problem with the crate, you don't want to give him one outside of the crate. Raider, get out. Here, go away. Right? So, boom. So then you start, and then say you do that like 10 times. Then try giving them the Kong in there, right? So that Kong is going to give them more time. So now say, Raider, go away. Good boy. So now say the dog still doesn't want to go in there. You can use leash pressure, right? So you use leash pressure and just go like this. And you can push him in, right? Now, obviously, he doesn't have a problem, so it's not that big a deal. I've had ones that I've had to really fight with to get him in there. And it ends up being no big deal. So even if you use leash pressure, right, when he's in there, you still give him cookies. Now, he might not take the cookies, leave the cookies in there. And then you can pull them out, and you come back in, and you go, leash pressure, good, and throw the cookies, right? It doesn't matter if you have to use leash pressure or if you have to push them in there at this stage, right? I mean, I had a big old dog one time that was biting the owners because they were trying to make him get in there, and that's what I did. I used the leash pressure, I made him go in, and then I had to go like this, boom, and I pushed him with my leg. He went in there, I threw cookies. The next day, no big deal. If the dog's fighting to get away, here's the problem with using leash pressure is you can't get in, right? The dog's fighting to get away. You got the leash. He's not going to get you, right? So he's going to get the leash. You just keep going with the leash, right? Look, he's fighting. Good. You just keep going. Boom. No big deal. You saw he's fighting to get away. He gets in. You give him cookies. I don't care how bad you have to fight to get him in there. He still gets cookies, right? Nothing out. Good in. Does that make sense? Uh, but at first, it's just in and out, in and out, in and out. Give them the lick mat or the Kong to get some duration, right? And then you work up. Say you got them in and out 10 times. Then you can do this. You close the door. You drop a cookie. You open the door. Okay, right? Come here, Goober. Ready? You got them getting in the crate, right? In the crate. Good. See, I had to use a little pressure. Drop the cookies. Close the door. Drop the cookies. Open the door. Okay. Okay. If he wants to stay in there, fine. Actually, I want him in there. So. Good boy. So, yes, that looks very easy because he's used to it, but you saw a couple of times with the pressure, he did fight with it. If they fight the pressure, you have to keep. I don't add more pressure, but I don't give in. They've got to give into the pressure. Now, I have had to fight with them before, but I usually don't like to. It depends on the situation and how much they're fighting. Just trying to back up and just hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. They're going to give in. Then now you can go more. He's trying to fight and get away. You just hold it, hold it, hold it. They're going to give in. You go up a little more. Everything's a progression, whether you're using treats or you're using pressure. It's a little progression, right? If they're fighting it and you push too hard, there's the opportunity that they can get more mad. A lot of people will, though. A lot of people will, when they start fighting that pressure, they add more to make them go forward. I personally like to let them kind of deal with it and see that there's no big deal. And then once they settle down, then I can do more pressure. Make sense? Good boy.